Hi friends, it's Carrie from KDS Insurance Services. How are you on what is a very, very, very stormy Friday afternoon in Houston? We're under a very severe storm warning this afternoon, and I wanted to take this opportunity to talk to you about what's coming. I did a video a little bit earlier, but this one I want to be very specific about your homeowner's policy, the upcoming hurricane season, and the flooding that is associated with the hurricane season. Okay? Homeowners policies in the state of Texas do not cover flood. Okay? And flooding as the result of a hurricane, which is naturally rising water, that is the definition of flood, is not a covered peril on any of the Texas homeowners policies. You are required to carry a separate flood insurance policy. So let's just give an example so we know what we're talking about. We are headed into hurricane season. It starts in about 6 weeks, not very long. When we get hurricanes, we get tornadoes. When we get the tornadoes and the hurricanes all together, we get this perfect storm and we get surge water. Okay, water that comes in from the hurricane, from the Gulf, is picked up by the tornadoes, and we get storm surge. Okay, that is a naturally rising water event. That is called flood. That is never covered on your homeowner's insurance policy, ever. Now, you do have flood on your automobile policy under your comprehensive coverage. Theft, fire, vandalism, water damage, and that is where your vehicles are protected in flood. Okay? So your auto has it, your homeowners doesn't. You must carry a flood policy, a separate policy issued through FEMA. You can buy it through many different sources. You don't have to go directly to FEMA. Like I have several carriers within my carrier appointments that will sell primary flood and excess flood, and they have different pricing. So you do not have to go to FEMA. You can get it through an independent agent like I am. I think some of the captive programs may now have flood as well, like State Farm Farmers, Allstate. I'm not 100% sure about that, but I think so. So you can call me. You don't have to be in a floodplain to get flood insurance. You can just buy it if you want to have it, if you are concerned about the location where you live and do you potentially have flooding. Can you potentially get flooding? And I'm sorry, I just noticed that blue light there. Let's get rid of that. So you can get it through FEMA. You do not have to have any documentation. You don't have to be in a floodplain in order to qualify for it. I just wrote a brand new one a few days ago in a outside of floodplain, sorry about that. And the premium was like $350 per year. It has to be paid in full. You cannot put these on monthly payments. The maximum that any flood policy can cover is $250,000 for your building, and then $150,000 for your personal belongings, your clothing, your furniture, your appliances, that sort of thing. $250,000 is the max on the building, and then $150,000 is the max on your personal property. And you can take deductibles depending on the carrier that you go through. It must all be paid in full. There are no monthly payments allowed on any FEMA flood policy. So we have this hurricane, then we get tornadoes, and then we get this massive surge of water that comes in with the hurricane, and it's spread throughout the state, and it causes rising water. That is the definition of flood. It must be on its own policy. You cannot get it through your homeowner's policy. There are no exceptions. So you need to buy your own flood policy. Now, there are a few carriers that have a less than 30-day waiting period. The majority of them are at least 10 days or more. So hurricane season starts mid-June and you are interested in buying a flood policy and you want to make sure you have coverage the day hurricane season opens, then you need to be thinking about it now. Get a quote, know what you're looking at. So if you don't have all of the premium now, you can start to save for it. So when you do buy the flood insurance, it goes into effect. The coverage starts the day after the waiting period. So if you bought it today, for example, through one of my carriers that I know of, there's a 10-day waiting period. Today is the 2nd of May. The coverage would not actually go into effect until the 12th of May. There is no carrier that I'm aware of that will give you automatic coverage. So if I wrote it today for you and I bound the coverage today for you, I'm not aware of any carrier that would give you coverage today. There is always a waiting period. That's flood insurance. Now in particular is a good time to know, are you in a floodplain? If you are in a floodplain, get flood insurance, because it's never going to protect you. You're never going to have any coverage from your home insurance, just your auto, and only if you carry comprehensive on your vehicles. And then any damage to your property, your home, and the belongings in it have to come through flood insurance. There's always a waiting period. Know what that is. Also remember that it's always paid in full. There are no payment options available through the FEMA program, and the max is $250 on the building and $150,000 on your personal belongings. Don't wait. If you think you need it, if you've got experience that shows you were close, didn't quite get into a flood, I would encourage you to buy it. It is not that expensive, and the peace of mind knowing you have it is well worth the investment to save your property, because as we all know, weather patterns are definitely changing, and now is a good time to look into it as we approach the summer and the hurricane seasons. Of course, if I can answer any questions for you, please let me know. I am the owner of KDS Insurance Services here in the Houston area. I'm in Texas and 4 other states, and I would love the opportunity to help you. Just reach out to me and we can certainly connect, and I'm happy to answer any questions that you might have. If you think you need it, do it. Don't tempt karma, please. I have seen that happen way too many times, where somebody has said, oh, I really need it, didn't get it, and then within a month something happened and they didn't have what they thought they were going to get, and then they ended up in a financial crisis. So God bless you. This is Carrie from KDS Insurance Services. Thanks for joining me today. Be safe, especially if you're in the Houston area. It is about what time is it? Let me put my glasses back on. It is 3 o'clock. The storm is on its way. It's supposed to have very high winds. It could be as large as baseball size hail, severe lightning, of course, tons of rain. So please be prepared. Get your weather apps out and find out where the storm is coming from, where it's going to go on the radar maps. And if you don't have to be out in it, don't risk your safety. It all can wait until tomorrow, because these kinds of storms are just way, way too dangerous to risk being out in them. If you can get home early, get home early. And thanks for watching today. Have a blessed afternoon. We'll see you the next time.